And we'll start with Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, we saw Mike's out tonight. How is Mo doing, and how will you start tonight with Mike out?
So Cole will start, and then it'll be just like the other night at the other positions. Gary at the 2, James will start at 3, Chuma at 4, Wendell at 5. Chasen will play tonight, but we'll play tonight as the backup 1. And I'm sorry, and most, he's trying. I mean, he's on the bike right now, getting ready to go on the court, and we're hopeful, and he's hopeful that he'll be able to play.
Okay, Michael Grange.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're well. Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. Just your thoughts on Kem Birch. You had an opportunity to work with him for a number of years, and where did you think his game was when you guys allowed him to get bought out, or got, however you want to put it? And we'll just start with that, I guess.
He's a very valuable guy to have on your team, and I saw some quotes from Nick about the fact that he can be a valuable backup, and I totally agree with that. Actually, if you go back to our first year, he played, I think we were 22-9 in the last 31 games, and he was right in the middle of it. He's a great screener. He knows who he is. He's improved his skill level tremendously. I mean, he started to shoot some threes here this year. Very good pick and roll defender, post defender. And again, he knows who he is. He helps his teammates play better, and he brings a ton of intangibles, loves basketball, always thinking about teammates, the team. So I couldn't say enough good things about him.
He was also very gracious about his experience in Orlando as well. But he did sort of say, like, he's in, like, one of the reasons he was eager to try a new organization is just to expand maybe a definition of what he could be as a player. And I was asking Nick about that. And how do coaches and organizations manage that balance where a player's got these kinds of ambitions for where he thinks he can get to, and the organization has very specific needs about what they need him to do game in, game out? And Kem's kind of an example, but I'm sure it pops up all the time and it's part of your job.
Constantly. I mean, I think that's, first of all, that's what you want in a player, somebody who wants more. And the toughest thing is that it's the role definition, so that you can get as many guys on your team that play efficiently in what you allow them to do on the offensive end of the floor, and the team functions when they're out there. So I mean, that's the catch-22. Obviously with us, I mean, the biggest issue for him was, has been Vooch and Mo ahead of him, so he wasn't able to get regular minutes when both were healthy. And then with the trade, Wendell and Mo, and we're going to play our younger guys right now. So this wasn't anything at all about what he could become. It was just really a numbers game with us.
Appreciate that, Coach. Have a good night.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily.
Hey, Coach. Cole's been back now for 5 games. The raw scoring numbers fine, but the shooting numbers are kind of down. What's been the focus with him as he kind of gets himself back into rhythm after 2 months off? What are you trying to have him focus on as he kind of gets himself back into the swing of things?
Yeah, I thought the other night was his best game. And we've really streamlined 3 or 4, options for him to, be on the attack, which he had some, really good sequences the other night. And then I think the big thing is it's the balance of when to attack and when to just, move the ball, be an organizer, a facilitator. And then, as always, is play at both ends of the floor. I think he has a chance to be a terrific defender. And I thought the other night his defense was much better also.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, there were a number of the areas that the team did well against Chicago. After looking at the film, what were some of the areas that stood out to you?
Well, obviously we shot the ball well, and you know, it's our defense actually wasn't as good as it has been. You know, we struggled obviously with Levine, with Vooch. But so our defense overall wasn't as good as you thought it would have to be for us to win the game. But offensively, we were really good. And, you know, sometimes it just comes down to, you know, how well you shoot the ball. And the game that James Ennis had, you know, you go 5 for 6 from 3. And it was a big part of it. We moved the ball well. We were very high assist, low turnover. And we played with a lot of good offensive energy. So we scored in a lot of different ways. And tonight, that will be the biggest thing. We can't turn the ball over against these guys. They absolutely crush teams with live ball turnovers. And that's where everything will start tonight.
Roy Perry, Orlando Sentinel.
Steve, we talk a lot about Gary's defense, his perimeter shooting, you know, but the other night he was really involved in playmaking. You know, I think he had 6 assists for you guys. Is that a part of his game that maybe gets overlooked and shouldn't?
Oh, I mean, I think people will see, I mean, he's just, again, getting back into him. He's a terrific all-around player. And talking about a guy who I believe it was 3 years ago, averaged over 18 a game playing on a very good team. So the thing that stands out obviously is it's his basketball IQ, his feel for the game. He plays for his teammate. When he's on the floor, the ball moves. He understands how to sustain spacing. And you know, he's both going to score, but I think Roy, like what you're talking about, he's going to help his teammates play better. It's just how he plays.
Go ahead, Roy.
And just to follow up a little bit, Steve, where do you see his comfort level at this point? I mean, I know it's been kind of a small sample size, but he looks like he's really, you know, become much more acclimated with what you guys are trying to do out there.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, we haven't practiced a lot. He's just, you know, he's very bright. And as he has sat and watched, I mean, he had a good grasp of things immediately when he was able to, you know, jump into the limited practice times that we've had. And again, you're going to get that more. Ottawa's the same way. You're going to get that more with veteran players who have played, you know, been around and seen more of the NBA.
Okay. Any final questions for Coach Clifford? All right. Thank you, everyone.